Dear students of class 8A and 8B, before starting day's teaching, I communicated one message for you. You know, our ex-President of India, Pranab Mukherjee, is no more. I request all the students to remain silent for 2 minutes. Now time is over. Thank you all of you. Now concentrate to my day's teaching. Rise of nationalism. You know, as I mentioned you earlier, that this lesson is not a part of our syllabus, but I am teaching you in order to provide you necessary informations about the previous lesson, the revolt of 1857, so that you can easily attempt any inside questions, any type of inside question if it comes. That's why this lesson is very important to learn. Today, under the following points, I shall teach you. Cultural awakening. What is cultural awakening? You know, the British introduced their own culture. What type of culture? They introduced Western education among the Indians. Earlier, there was a system of teaching through maktabs, pathshalas, through the vernacular languages. But the British created many English-educated Indians in the interest of themselves, because they wanted to provide English-educated Indians in many important and responsible posts in their administration by providing less salary, because the Europeans demanded fat salary, and Britishers wanted to save money, drain wealth of India. That's why they considered the English-educated Indians to be fit, to be legible for that posts. They realized that the English-educated Indians should be able to shoulder all kinds of administrative responsibilities like the Europeans, but at the same time they would be able to save their money. That's why they provided English education among the Indians, and ultimately so many people of India, they receive Western education, and they got job in British administration, and at the same time they started following the culture, British style, British posture of standing, British posture of sitting, and in every spheres of life there came an influence of the British in their nature and behavior. So as a result of it, the lifestyle of the people of India was totally changed. Ultimately, they are, formed a sense of, morality. They are a sense of, patriotism, cultural awakening, and ultimately it included, so many Indian people in that group, and a new group was formed, that was Indian elite group. Indian educated people, they formed their own group, Indian elite group. India's past history during the time when they receive education was taught by the teachers, The teachers taught about the golden age under the Guptas, the Mughal period. The findings made Indians take pride in their past glory of our country, India, and Indian culture and religion. So the social reforms, and later on, sense of common knowledge, the knowledge which was totally unknown to them, the cultural awakening, the cultural awakening among them helped them to learn unknown things, to learn the things which was totally unknown to them. As a result of it, they gained various kinds of knowledge, and that knowledge ultimately became common knowledge among them, common knowledge. And afterwards, significant contributions of the British. The British, contributed a lot in every spheres of life, and has also helped the Indians to be well established in their lives. And the British, introduced modern education among the Indians, as I told you earlier, and at the same time they contributed to the growth of Indian nationalism, and it brought about a remarkable change. It brought about a profound intellectual transformation among the Indians. So modern education brought Indians to touch with the works of great European thinkers, writers like Milton, Thomas Paine, Burke, J.S. Mill, Spencer, Locke, Rousseau, Mazzini, Montesquieu, and so on. By reading the philosophical explanation, philosophical clarification of these social thinkers, the people of India, they came to know many unknown things, and at the same time they all were encouraged by the ideals of the liberty, equality, fraternity, which was the motto of the French Revolution of 1789, my dear students. It helped them. The ideas of liberty, equality, and fraternity, democracy, and national freedom encouraged the Indian people to come under one umbrella, and the pioneers of Indian nationalism were moved by the aspirations for self-government in India, political power in India, and national pride for the old glory and fame of this very country they belonged. And next one, impact of modern education. Impact of modern education. The modern education which the people of India received from reading many books, it helped them. It helped them to understand the true the knowledge or the sense of true patriotism, and they became more and more patriots and felt that there should be a unity among them for the protection of the country, for safeguarding the interest of the Indians. And Indians, since the country belonged to them, say they must have their rights rights of enjoying the life. They must have their right to open their mouth and to communicate their concept freely without being interrupted by anyone else. That's why the knowledge of modern education helped them to express their opinions freely, and as a result of it, a number of political parties also were formed. A number of political parties were formed under many educated people of India. Ultimately, they left the British job, and they conveyed a message to the people of different parts of India by conducting meetings, seminars in different cities of India like Lucknow, Delhi, Meerut, Bombay, and so on. By way of conducting meetings, seminars in different cities of India, the people of India, these leaders, these highly qualified leaders or Indian educated group of people, were able to make public opinion, and they were able to encourage Indian people to be a part of their movement against the British rule. And next point, social reforms. Social reforms, since Indian people during the first phase of their movement were basically inactive. There was no activeness in their nature and behavior. They believed that they should have faith on the British. They should have faith on the British government, and their demands must be accepted by the British if they would pay respect to the British, since they were inferior to the British and Britishers were superior to them. So they must pay tribute, they must pay respect to the British and must have faith on the British, and they must wait till the British is approving their demands. That means they did not want to have immediate result. They wanted to. They believed in the policy of wait and see. That's why their inactiveness during the first part of the movement, their inactiveness led to a growth of Indian people of British group. That means they belong to British group. They did not want to be anti-British. They did not want to be a group of people of anti-British group. They did not want to be leader belonging to anti-British group. That's why the people of India, they by reading out the social reforms of the social reformers of India, they all were encouraged. They all were encouraged, and they decided to provide. They decided to protect the country, and they decided to make the people of India understand that the people of India should not be treated as slaves of the British. Since it belonged to their country, they must have their rights and they must enjoy their rights and privileges like the Europeans. The apathy of the colonial government made educated Indians realize that the British had only vested interest in sight, means the prosperity of their homeland Britain. The prosperity of their homeland Britain became possible only because of Indian money, Indian wealth. They drain from our country for their motherland, for their country, England. So they all became rich, prosperous at the cost of Indian wealth and Indian money. The people, the educated people, in course of time, they realized it, and ultimately they became conscious, alert, aware of their duties and responsibilities, and ultimately Indian press encouraged the political awakening among them. Indians, they all, their spirit of nationalism encouraged them. Their spirit of nationalism also encouraged them. Their spirit of nationalism, by highlighting the exploitative policies of the British, brought them under one umbrella. The battle, the revolt of 1857, encouraged the ideals of the Sipahis, and the people of India, basically political leaders, were encouraged by the ideals of the Indian Sipahis, who sacrificed their life for the noble cause of India's freedom movement. And that's why it is considered as the first war of independence. But the European historians, especially British historians, narrated it as Sipahi mutiny, the mutiny of the Sipahis. But almost all historians of different parts of India as well as the world, narrated is as the first war of independence. The revolt of 1857 was India's first war of independence. Up to this, my dear students. Thank you.